Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with myself, Eman and Richard.
Hello, hello. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Back again.
Yes. So today we have a slightly different setup. We don't have a desk.
No, we don't have a desk. We are deskless.
Yes. So, but we're gonna, I think, renovate a little bit of this space soon. But for now, you'll deal with this work in progress. And speaking of renovations, today we're actually going to be talking about the massive renovation plan for the Maktoum International Airport, and then everything that's gonna actually happen in that area, and then expand in the coming years. When you be talking about the Al Maktoum International Airport, all of the sort of renovation plans that they have, the plans in general as well. So, Richard.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how much this renovation is going to cost?
So I've got a rough idea. Shall I have a guess?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
That's basically, we're in the billions of dirhams, right? So is it around, I don't know, 115 billion, or is it even
It's
more
close.
than-
It's very close.
more than
So
that?
it's a 35 billion US dollar expansion. So that's about 128 billion dirhams.
Yikes.
And it's going to be setting, I think, a bunch of records in true Dubai fashion. It has to. And essentially, it's going to take place of DXB Airport, right? Dubai International Airport. And
Yes.
It's going to become the world's largest airport, the world's busiest airport. Yeah.
I mean, look, if you look at the some of the statistics, they're kind of mind-boggling, right? So you've got, let's take DXB, the current Dubai International Airport. In 2023, it had 86.9 million passengers, right? The world's busiest airport,
Yes.
right? They're projecting that once this Al Maktoum Airport is renovated, seems wrong. Once it's expanded, yeah. We're talking 260 million passengers
yeah.
a year,
Yeah,
right? So
that's
that
going
just
to
gives
be-
you an idea of the sheer scale. We're talking five runways parallel,
Yes.
which is just whoa. 400 gates.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know?
So this is the whole concept of, oh my God, I actually have to find my gate before, I go get food or I go get something.
Yeah.
For me, I also have that fear of, does my gate exist? And I feel like at Maktoum Airport, I'm just going to be like, where is it? Not even does it exist. It's just like, do I have to
Yeah.
go from one end to the other? How is this going to work?
Yeah, that all important. You know those signs which tell you how far away your gate is,
Yeah.
walking minutes wise. They're going to become kind of all important, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, they are.
because I mean, when you're talking 400 gates, that's something to behold. It's going to be massive.
Massive. I believe
right?
70 million square feet, right? That's the sort
Yes.
of built up area that they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what's really interesting to see is how Maktoum International Airport started. So for me, I've not actually been to the airport yet, but I
Me
know
neither,
a lot
actually,
of
even
people.
though it's quite close to where I live.
wow.
I haven't been. No.
Okay, but it initially started off, as a sort of cargo terminal, and now it's kind of expanded into all of these sort of things. It has Dubai South, obviously, it's located within it. Dubai World Central is there, logistics city. They have all of these sort of industries with aviation and things like that are tied to it. So now it's not just going to serve cargo, it's going to obviously be serving passenger flights as well, which it has been doing, but it's just going to expand it to
It's
a
gonna
massive
take-
scale. Even Emirates is actually going to be moving from Terminal 3
All the traffic from
to Maktoum International.
DXB,
Yeah.
right? All the traffic within 10 years will move to.
Yeah, I mean, that's massive. For me, what I mainly hear of Maktoum International Airport is a lot of people speak really highly of the private jet terminal that they have there. Personal experience, never been.
No,
So
me
I
neither,
wouldn't
funnily
know.
enough. What's going on? Why have we been to the private jet terminal?
I don't know. We should make it happen. But a lot of
Someone
people,
invite us, please.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people do speak quite highly about it, and they're like, if that's just the start, you can just imagine how integrated, how easy to access the rest of the airport is going to be. And I think it's just a testament of how the city kind of is very future focused, is very future forward thinking when it comes to setting up these kind of innovative ideas as well, right? Like you already have DXB Airport. It's the world's largest, it's the world's busiest, and they're like, you know what? We can actually do better than this.
We can take it to a whole new level, right? Which is exactly what they're doing. And I think the ruler of Dubai described it as potentially becoming the world's airport. And we
Yes.
already know that Dubai, by where it's situated, is
It's a very strategic location,
yes,
right?
100%, right? And they're looking forward and thinking in the next 20, 30, 40 years, we can take that even more,
More, yeah.
to,
You can actually like properly not just disrupt the industry, but really set a new standard.
yeah, completely. And that's what this is. Well, have you seen the artist's impressions of this? I mean, it looks,
Yeah, it looks stunning.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was young and used to have films about the future, right? It looks like that and then some. Do you know what I mean?
know what
It's
you
like, yeah, it's.
We'll have some photos of the mock-ups of the airport so you can see for yourselves if you're watching the video. If
Yeah.
you're listening, come to the video.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So there is that, and I think what's also interesting is, I personally was curious. I was like, okay, if everything is going to move over, what happens to Dubai International Airport, right? What happens to Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3? And I was reading about this, and it turns out that His Highness Sheikh Hamdan had actually mentioned that.
What, you've been like heritage
Yeah, they wanted,
wise?
so basically, essentially, what they want to do is they're actually going to preserve a lot of iconic sites.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those iconic sites is going to be Dubai International Airport and is going to be Terminal 1.
Yeah, Terminal 1.
Yeah, so I think we're not seeing the last of Dubai International Airport. Even when things move over, I think there's definitely going to be something that they're going to constantly be innovating with. That maybe it would be used as a place for training or for workshops, or just for people to experience the growth and the history of that sort of industry.
I completely agree. I mean, I think if you look, obviously the area will have some redevelopment, but
Because
with
it's so
Terminal
primely
1,
located as well, right?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
DHV
yeah.
Airport is right in the middle of the city. Yes, Maktoum International Airport is right on the other end, but at the same time, that's where the site of Expo is. That's
Yes.
where there are so many events. That's where there are so many things that are happening and so many communities that are coming up. And
But just backtracking briefly, I like the idea of these, buildings with kind of cultural heritage,
and
and
history.
areas with cultural heritage, that they're recognising that. I think that's really good moving forward. Looking at in London, we're in the UK, we have these things called listed buildings, right? Which means it's a historically relevant
Yes.
building. Once a building gets that kind of status, you can't. There's only certain things you can do to it. You
Okay.
can't change it particularly. You certainly can't knock it down for a start.
Of course.
And I like that because it's kind of it's important because
Yes, and even what was mentioned in this was the same way, that they're using it to preserve all of the sort of culture and history that's tied to it, and
And the
showcase
development.
the strategic development. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great. It's a really, really cool thing to do, and the airport is
Yeah.
a major focal point and has been for a long time. I mean, look, Terminal 1's literally just had is it Terminal 1 that's had the refurb recently? It is, isn't it? Yeah, it has. So it has, because lots of bits were closed for a while. So, but still, even that, so they refurbed it because they didn't feel it was maybe up to the level that it needed to be. But still, that doesn't stop thinking ahead the next 20, 30, 40 years,
and constantly growing as well.
But
And yeah.
Dubai South, Dubai South is going to become a city within a city, is what we're hearing.
Yeah, I think that's how it was always positioned, right? Because again, it was centered around the airport. It was centered around, I think, being a hub for business, being a hub for logistics, being a hub for aviation, being a hub for all of those sort of industries. Because again, it makes sense. It's integrated. It's fully integrated, right? And they have a residential component as well. So it's not like it's just a commercial area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying that they expect that 1 million people will work and live in the immediate area surrounding the airport.
I'm not surprised at all, because all of this is also tied to the expo site, which again, they've been very forward thinking with that as well. It wasn't just, okay, we had the expo, that's it. We're not really going to be doing anything. They've built District 2020 there for that reason. There are so many events that take place there. There are so many sort of, I would say,
What was that music
festivals.
festival? There was what was the one you went to recently? There was a music festival.
Untold, yes. They
Yeah,
had
yeah, that
Untold
was it,
there.
but
They've had a lot of like Christmas markets and things like that. They're using it as a concert arena again. Green Day is going to be performing alongside.
Oh, Offspring.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Jan 2025.
Yeah, I might go to that actually, because
I also might go to that,
I like Green Day. Not Offspring so much, but Green Day.
I like both plans actually. So they're basically reusing it, right, as a concert venue. And there's a lot of things that you can do at Expo. A lot of people still go around and they bike, and I think that's so cool. I
It's a
think even-
vast area. I mean, it's not a small area we're talking about.
Not at
It's
all.
huge, right?
So I think it makes sense that they want to tie all of it together. So you have the airport, you have all of these residential districts, you have again all of the business districts, and Dubai South as an area is something that's received so much demand. There are so many off-plan projects that have been launched in that area, and a few of them have already been delivered. So again, MR South, some phases of that have already been delivered.
Yeah.
So
Is that South Bay? Is that what we're talking? It's Dubai South Bay, which has had 3 phases have been already
Urbana
sold
is
out.
also there. Quite a few actually developments by MR are there. Even the Mag 5 Boulevard is there.
Yes, it is.
There are
What about the Venice? Is
Azizi Venice, yeah, that's the latest project that they've launched.
Yeah.
That I think is super popular in that area. But there's so
And
much.
it's about now we're going to become even more popular. This is the thing,
Yeah.
right? We're going to see. It's interesting to look at what the knock-on effect of this
Is,
announcement's going to be. As I mean, I know it's 10 years, but it's obviously going to be a transitional period as we go through that.
And not just the area of Dubai South, right? It's all of the areas that are nearby as well. So yes, it's located on that side of the city. So it's interesting to kind of see the dichotomy. Yeah, DIP will be one of the areas that will be very popular. Palm Jebel Ali definitely will have a lot of interest now,
Yeah.
even though it's already a widely popular project because again, there's proximity to the airport, right? I think anything on that side will come into importance. So Dubai waterfront, Furjan, all of these areas that are slowly developing probably will have a lot more interest now
Jamak
because of
Lagoons
this.
as well. I think that's out that way, isn't it? Is it
Not
rather-
really, no.
No. I thought it was quite close. Oh, it's close to Rembrandt, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
further,
yeah.
it's further south, I would say.
But look, we're seeing the evolution of that side of the city, that side of the Emirates, right?
And
the
for me, it's
Emirates even.
really, yeah, for the Emirate. And for me, it's really interesting to see because you have Expo, you have the Dubai South, you have Al Maktoum International Airport, and then you have the Dubai International Airport, which is directly in the heart of the city. So, you have areas like Tawar and Gusses and Dera, all of that nearby. And then it's quite easy to cross over into Dubai and then come into downtown and all of that. So it's interesting to see how the impact will change. Again, metro connectivity is going to be super important because Dubai International Airport does have that.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have plans to expand that as well. There's probably going to be so much more that's going to come out that we're not even aware of.
The metro does go out to Expo now, doesn't it? Yeah. So you'd imagine, I don't know, we're speculating, but some kind of extension from there.
From there, yeah.
Yeah.
To connect it.
And Etihad Railway's out that way as well.
Yes,
Right?
it is.
So that's
It is.
another.
So maybe you could even go towards Abu Dhabi in a much easier way, or maybe even all the way to Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could. The possibilities are endless. For me personally, though, I'm also speculating here, and I'm also expecting a lot of the exhibitions that happen at Trade Center
Yeah. Okay.
to move over to Expo.
That could well happen.
That could happen. I'm not sure. Again, this is just my
No,
opinion.
yeah, no, look, at the end of the day, there's so many exhibitions here that I'm sure there's enough for both venues potentially to thrive. Do you know what I mean? But that's part of it, right? So it's bringing in, this is all part of the vision moving into 2030, 2040. It's to make Dubai and the UAE, but Dubai a hub for business, a hub for tourism.
Yeah.
And
A hub for life itself, right?
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
that you want to do, you can achieve here.
yeah, and with exhibitions, they form part of that, right?
of course.
So I think it's almost like a natural progression, and I think there's more of an emphasis will naturally come at that end of town, which I think one of the things is as well is, but there's a lot of space out there, right?
Yeah,
Because
there is,
because it is not as developed as the majority of the rest of the Emirate, right? So I think the fact that space is there gives them the opportunity for absolute whopping
But
mega projects like this
agreed.
one.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. And the thing is, there are going to be so many, I would say, residential and commercial units being delivered there. Because again, Dubai South, it's been so popular for off-plan. It's immensely popular for off-plan. And just to give you guys some stats, just in Q1.
I love a stat. Give me a stat.
Just in Q1 of this year, over 10,000 units have already been delivered. All right, that's to give you perspective, that's pretty high. Generally, it's nothing of that sort. And
Really?
overall, the expected units to be delivered are actually between
Just in Dubai.
Dubai, yes,
Yeah,
just Dubai.
okay.
30 to 40,000. Okay, on
Yikes.
average, it's half that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so. I mean, that tells
Yeah.
tells the story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
And of course, this is again, it's a testament to all of those off-plan projects actually coming to fruition, right? Because they're going to be new units entering the market, and a lot of them are based on that side of town. So you're going to see, I think, a lot of development, and I think it's just going to increase from here.
Yeah, it's hard to see a reverse in that trend, right? Because everything is leaning towards the population growing,
Yes.
obviously, and I know it's the most simplistic thing in the world to say, but a bigger population means those people need somewhere to live, right? So it's kind of it's a natural evolution, and it's exciting times, right?
Yeah, it is. And I think it showcases a lot of the resilience of this country and of this emirate as well. More people, obviously, more houses. Everything is just increasing, I would say. Everything is just expanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're seeing the evolution of the city, and it's really, really exciting times for all aspects. But the real estate industry in particular, which obviously we have a focus on, is
Is booming.
is booming, and it doesn't show. And this is not just us wanting to speak well about it because. I mean, the facts are there. The stats are there.
The data is there. It backs everything up.
Yeah, it backs up that it is la booming. Right?
And that brings us to an end of another episode. If you want any more information on the Al Maktoum International Airport's not renovation but expansion as we discussed today, then you can definitely find that on MyBayut, or any information on Dubai South.
We've got look, if you're interested in what the property prices are in Dubai South, what the rent trends are they going up? I would imagine they are going up. But the most popular buildings, the off-plan projects, all that information, and the surrounding areas, Expo City, DIP, whatever, all that stuff is there on MyBayut, right? So it's like a treasure trove of useful and interesting information. So, check it out, guys.
Yeah, definitely do go ahead, do explore, take a look at those articles. And as always, the link is the same. It's www.Bayut.com /MyBayut. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.